Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got love. The Two of Cups is your first card. I think you're somebody who is full of love. I think that you feel such a divine love in your life. I think that you are, you're intimately connected with your family, your friends, your pets, your plants, your people. They mean the world to you. Right now, I think you're very much focused on those healthy relationships, building them up, giving them what they need, paying attention to people, honoring people, cherishing those relationships, those people, pets, plants. I think you have a unique ability that when you're with someone, you have the ability to make them feel like they're the only person in the world. You know, and people can feel you. You know, people know that you're a genuine person. And your presence invigorates other people. I think people kind of come to you when they need to feel good, right? Because just being around you tends to energize people, or people can feel healed just by your presence. You are a genuine person. Doesn't mean that you're all kind of love and light and sunshine and rainbows and all that stuff. It just means you're real, you know? And sometimes the deep, intimate love that you have for people, your friends, your family, your romantic partner, or whatever, that deeper intimacy is not always about just smiling and being nice. Sometimes it's not nice. Sometimes it's raw. Sometimes it's ugly, you know. But it's real. It's genuine. And I think people love that about you, is your genuineness. Now let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what is going on in your life. You got a Hanged Man, okay. We have an Ace of Swords. You have an Adjustment card. You have a Prince of Swords. You have an Empress. Ooh, the Empress feels like an upgrade. Yeah, feels like a big upgrade's coming for you. But what is the sacrifice? What is it that you have to surrender? Okay, maybe you're surrendering to love. Maybe there's been a little bit of resistance here, especially with this air energy, right? Feels like things have been going along at a very nice, friendly pace, or, you know, a nice professional sort of relationship. And I wonder if something's being changed here. We have a Nine of Swords, the pain of separation. Aha. We have a Four of Pentacles. We have a Queen of Cups. We have a Three of Wands. Oof, I know what this is about. This is good. Of course, I'd love to hear your interpretation, okay? I'm going to give you my take on this. Feels like there is someone in your life that, you know, has been a very kind of stable person for you. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a coworker, but they're reliable, and you feel good, you feel safe with that person, you feel like you can be yourself. And I think that you're realizing that there's more to this than you thought. There's more to this than you would like to admit, perhaps, okay? And, you know, we could take this out of the realm of romance if you want, and we can say that this is something that you kind of started as a business. You started it as a very kind of professional thing. This is a way to make money. It's very, you know, it's very, very stoic, very sober-minded, very level-headed. It was very professional, but gosh darn it, you kind of fell in love with it. You caught some feelings for this thing, and Now you're willing to sacrifice for it, and you're really willing to give it all your blood, sweat, and tears in order to make it really work. So this could be that you started a job, and at first it was just a way to make money, right? Stability, safety, security. But now you're really putting your heart and soul into it, and it's going to be upgraded. Okay? It doesn't have to be romance, so you can put your pitchforks away. I can feel them kind of pointed at me. But it feels like that, right? It feels like you're falling in love with something that you didn't expect to fall in love with. A person, a place, a thing. Maybe it's a place, right? What if it's a place? What if this was a place that you just at first felt like neutral about? You just, I don't love it, I don't hate it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's something that you haven't quite judged yet. You haven't made a final answer, final determination on something. Yeah. I think your decision is that, holy cow, I love it. I love it so much, I want to do it all the time, and you're going to put in the blood, sweat, and tears, the sacrifices. You're going to surrender to that love, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal, unbelievable, unbelievable. But it's interesting. It started as something that you you weren't expecting to love it. You weren't sure how you really felt about it. It was just it's supposed to just be a sort of normal, professional, not all that passionate kind of thing. We're kind of stoic about it, right? It's just, well, no, it is what it is. Oh no, I'm falling in love here. Yeah, and I think that kind of caught you off guard to where you're like, wait a minute. I wasn't planning on falling in love here. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Type yes in the comments if you're still here, okay? Let's look around the room. We do have our major arcana, right? And the horizontal path shows the story, shows the bigger spiritual picture for you, okay? In the past, we have the higher wisdom and discernment. We have the card of justice, card of balance, the card of kind of professional relationships, the card of determining what has value for you. We have the card of surrender and sacrifice. And we have the card of, this is the card of miracles. This is the card of wonderful growth, success, pleasure. This is the best life. This is your Big Rock Candy Mountain. You didn't think it was going to be Big Rock Candy Mountain, did you? But now that you're here, you're like, I want to give this everything I've got. This could be a career path. It could be a relationship. It could be your new skill. It could be a hobby. It could be the job that you just got. It could be the book you just read. You can just say, I got to read this book. Yeah, it's whatever. Oh my gosh, I'm falling in love with the story, and this is the upgrade. This is how it changes you. This is what it really becomes. There's sensuality here. There is devotion. There is a lot of fruit, right? There is a lot of reward for your efforts. This is extraordinary on the horizontal path. Things will never be the same. Major upgrade. Yeah. Let's light up the comments right now in this video. Okay, claim this reading. Claim this abundance. Claim these miracles. Claim this love in your life right now. Okay, this reading is for you. You were meant to see this. We've got fire, water, air, and a little bit of earth. Not even that much earth. It's not really about what you're doing. It's not about the job. It's not about the other person. It's not about the pet or the plant. It's not about the place. It's about how and why you're doing it. Not what you're doing, how and why you're doing it. Okay? You're surrendering with trust. You're trusting this thing because it feels good. It feels safe. It is invigorating. It is enlightening. It is encouraging. Maybe this is a person that feels supportive. They feel healthy. They feel loving, and it's reciprocal. It's a Two of Cups. Okay, there's deeper there. You're surrendering to that with trust. Now, the shadow side of that Hanged Man is that there's part of your mind that's saying, I can't do it. I shouldn't surrender to that. So you're willing to kind of give up on the love. You're ready to surrender the love and say, no, I can't have the love. I can't have, and why? Why would you see this and say, oh, wow, look at that, and say, I got to say no to it? What is it that takes place in your head that's going to tell you to surrender that or sacrifice that? It's fear, right? It's fear of loving something that deeply. We have the Queen of Cups in the position of the fear, worry, concern. So there is something about this kind of a deep, intimate love that we're afraid of a little bit, yeah? Come join our community here. Hit that subscribe button, okay? Surrender to this love. Don't surrender the love, surrender to it. And there's a big difference there. Because this feels good, this feels right, it feels loving, feels encouraging. It's two people that support each other. It's the job that like really feels like we're on the same wavelength here. Okay? This Two of Cups, these two cards, even the Hanged Man, this is hitting me hard. Let me know in the comments, right, if this is hitting you hard too. Because this is something that doesn't just feel safe. It's not something we just cling to out of some need for security or stability, but it really feels like this thing's got my heart and I have its heart, and we're connected at the heart level. Could be a job, could be the pet, could be we're going to go get a dog. I guess, I don't really like dogs, but we'll go get one anyway just because, the kids want it or something. You get the dog and you just, oh my gosh, your heart melts. This is the Hanged Man. This is your heart melting. Okay, when you see that dog, or whatever it is, I don't know. But it's beautiful. And real love is a love that you want to sacrifice for. And that sacrifice isn't a diminishment. Okay, because the more you sacrifice for what you love, the more love you have to give. You're surrendering to the flow of that love, and it's an infinite love. You're tapped in to the source of love. The two of you are drinking from the same well of love here. It's an infinite well. It's the Ace of Cups at the top, right? And you're both you're both being nourished by the same spiritual source. So it feels like there is a resonance on the heart level. Type destiny in the comments if this feels like it's for you. You're letting go of the resistance to this kind of love. It's a surrendering to it. Now again, it doesn't have to be romance. It might be. Yeah. Down beneath the surface, we have the Ace of Swords. Absolutely stunning. You got the best cards here. Even the Nine of Swords, I'll take it. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. But first you got to turn on the bell so you get notified when new readings come out, okay? And if you don't, I'm not going to tell you about the Nine of Swords. The Ace of Swords, certainty, clarity. Feeling as if when you quiet your mind down, you see the tip of that sword is piercing the veil of the intellect. The tip of the sword is outside the chaos of the mind. It's in outer space, receiving the cosmic rays, receiving the divine light, the certainty, the spiritual downloads coming in that says, yes, I'm clear about this. I understand. I know what this is. You're understanding it. There's no doubt. With the Ace of Swords, there's no doubt. There's no confusion. You've asked, and Spirit has answered. And the answer is undeniable, unmistakable. Okay? But this is inside of you. This is something inside you have this certainty and this clarity. But on the surface level of your thoughts, you have a Prince of Swords. And that might be double air energy. It might be on the fence about something. It might be asking yourself the questions, why do I have a difficult time trusting in this love? Why do I have a difficult time surrendering and going with the flow of this love energy? It's what I want. It feels good. There's something inside of me that says, this is right. But why am I still hesitating? Why are we still on the fence? Okay. I don't know if there's a guilt or something, or if there's some kind of I don't know what the fear is necessarily. Okay. But I feel like this is the card that really is telling you that you need to fully commit to this. This is, because it's a double air energy, right? But it's also fixed air. And so it's kind of like this idea that we're on the fence and we've got to come down on one side of the fence or the other and commit to it. And I can see what side you're coming down on. You know, it looks like we know what we're doing here. Okay, but this could, again, it could be like keeping it professional, like this is the fence, right? And it's the fence of, do you surrender the love or surrender to the love? And one side of the fence is keeping it professional. The other side is going with the intimacy. Staying friends, starting a family, right? Keeping a kind of a clinical distance from this job or this, whatever it is, the book, or I don't know, the dog. Or just allowing yourself to love it and really like letting it grow and letting it become everything that it could be. Okay, and this is the card literally sitting on top of the fence. Like this, sitting on top, that would hurt, but sitting on top of the fence there. And I think knowing what side you really should come down on, and that's the same as asking that question, are you surrendering to the love? Or are you surrendering the love? Okay, got to get off that fence. I think you need to come down on the right side of this thing. Yeah. And of course, the Libra energy is the balance. It is the professional kind of relationship, but it's also a higher wisdom and discernment. It really is you like trying to do the right thing and make the right choice. And it's you kind of weighing the options. Well, you know, I think that this is a situation that you kind of went into it thinking it was one thing or one type of way, and you got into this situation because it was kind of the smart move. You didn't know that you would fall in love with it. It's kind of like you say, well, okay, I guess it makes sense for me to kind of go to school and try to get a good job or something, right? And so it's practical almost. And then once you get there, you think, oh my God, I love it. Yeah. And that seems a little bit too on the nose, right? But this is exactly it. You've made the decision not based on what your heart wants, not based on what your desires want. You try to be higher wisdom discernment. You try to use top-level executive function to make the right decision for you, what you thought was right for your life. It just turns out, it just happens to be that you're falling in love with it too. So I feel like you got the best of both worlds here. I feel like your heart and your mind are like, we got lucky. If this is the job, and now you're realizing that it's work you love to do. And how often do we find that? How often do we find a person that we absolutely love, but we're also compatible with? Or it makes sense that we're together. How often do you find a job that pays the bills, but also gives you that creative joy and love and makes you feel good and makes you want to show up every day and give it everything you've got? You know? Please share this video with someone that needs to hear it. Yeah. The future position, this is the Big Rock Candy Mountain. And I think when you arrived in this situation, you did not know that it was going to be your Big Rock Candy Mountain, your paradise, your Garden of Eden, your best life, your garden, right? This is almost like perfection, yeah? This is something that feels good, it's rewarding, it requires hard work, but it rewards the hard work. It's something that you have to feed. It's something that you want to take care of. It's something that you know the more you give it of your essence, the more you put into it. Right? The more love you put into it, the more love you get back. Now, it doesn't mean that it's an exchange. It's not a transaction. It's not a two of pentacles, right? It's love that's flowing. It's a two-way street of love that's infinitely connected. It's pure love energy going that way, but also coming this way at the same time. It's not a tit for tat, this for that, two of pentacles exchange. It's an energetic connection, a heart level energetic connection. Yeah. Type love in the comments for me. Yeah, that's what this is all about. And this is that love that really is, makes you want to sacrifice for it. If you really love something, you're going to put in the work. You're going to want to show up every day and give it everything you've got. There's nothing better, right, than when you work, you have a hard day at work, and it's satisfying, it's work that you love to do, and then you're driving home after and you're just exhausted, the sun's starting to go down, but it just feels so good. It feels like a holy moment. This is sacred sacrifice, and not just suffering and sacrifice because, well, I gotta get a paycheck or whatever, or I don't know any better, or I can't find anything better than this, and this is a sacred sacrifice. Because every ounce of every photon of your sacrifice is building up this best life. Yeah. And the Empress, this is pleasure. This is love. This is nurturing. This is safety. This is protection. This is family. This is home. Yeah, this is home. This is a house. And this might be saying, okay, I need to find a house. This is like, now it feels like a home. Okay, so you can see the contrast through these different examples. Now we're going to talk about the path of the serpent finally. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Okay. The first thing about the Nine of Swords as your general energy is that this is telling me that you feel something's missing from your life when you're not with this thing. This card is the pain of separation, okay? And in some ways, feeling as if you are meant to be with this thing, person, place, or thing. Because when you're not with it, it feels like something is being torn from you. Feels like soulmate type of thing here, okay? And as your general energy, I feel like this is really you waking up and sitting with your feelings, not trying to ignore how you feel, not trying to say that you feel a pain and that you're going to ignore it, or that you're going to push it down or suppress it, but sitting with it, but waking up to the fact that, yeah, I do want this. Maybe the stoic energy of the Justice card or the Adjustment card is, the life before where you just said, I don't need love, I don't need romance, I don't want intimacy, I want practical, make high-level, executive-level decisions, and I always do the right thing, and I don't need any kind of personal satisfaction, or I don't need love, I don't need romance, I don't need intimacy, I don't need affection, I don't need to fall in love, right, that sort of thing. But this is the reality, that we're kind of waking up in the middle of the night, sweating, and saying, I do need that stuff. I do need love. I do want intimacy, and I feel incomplete without it. I feel like my heart's been torn apart. When you're not with this thing, absence makes the heart grow fonder, that sort of thing. This is Mars in Gemini. This is the anti-union, right? Gemini is that card of union. This is the card of separation and the pain that you feel being separated from what you love. And maybe it's a pain that's always been there. You never really recognized it. Now this becomes the real catalyst for saying, yeah, now I can't imagine my life without this person, place, or thing, or this dog, or whatever it is, this plant, whatever it could be. Okay. Now, please come join our community of love and hit that subscribe button. The Four of Pentacles in the relationship, I think this is at first what you were seeking, just stability, practical thing. It makes sense. I got to have a job that pays the bills. This is a situation that really makes you feel safe. This is safety, security, stability. And this is in your relationship. This feels like this is a very reliable thing. Okay? But this is not enough. This alone is not enough, because this, as we know with all fours, it's an illusion of stability. Okay? It's an illusion of safety. It's the illusion of permanence. This is the fours of the tarot are always a lesson in impermanence. And so it's your way of recognizing that, yeah, physically there may be some compatibility. It may seem very stable physically, but if there's nothing deeper there, then this is not going to last. When you take your 4 and you add a 2, what do you get? A 6. And a 6 is that harmony, that consonance, where you're resonating with somebody, right? Consonance. You're at the same frequency with this person. It feels like you have common goals, whether this is a person, a place, a thing, a dog, doesn't matter. There's common goals. There's a feeling of safety. To me, it kind of feels like this is something that you can really kind of build a life with, build a home out of, right? It's a foundational card, kind of shows the foundation of a building. And to me, that is telling me that your situation, I'm going to call it a relationship, whether it's with a person, a place, or a thing, okay? Your relationship is built on very solid ground. That your relationship has the right foundation. It's built on trust, built on respect. It's built on safety, right? And comfortability, on acceptance, openness, okay? It's built on that kind of trust. And I think that this has to sort of come first. Kind of like your friends first, and then came the falling in love part. You have to build the vessel before the love can flow freely in there. Okay? Now, maybe you should bookmark this reading. In case this energy hasn't entered your life yet, you can come back in a few days. Okay? Or you can watch it again as your situation develops. Because this is where it should start. This is that foundation that needs to be there. And it's in the position of your relationships. It's in the position of your environment, your relationship with the environment, whatever is out in your environment for you, right? If it's a person, a place, or a thing. That's building on the proper structure. Now, the fear, worry, and concern is your Queen of Cups. Emotional honesty, radical self-acceptance, lifting the veil of your own feelings. Okay. The queens of the tarot are also processing endings. Okay. So part of the fear might be a reluctance to fall in love because you know that all good things must come to an end. And you know that you're not going to feel all that great when something has to inevitably end. It's like, I don't want to get a dog because I know eventually the dog's going to pass away, as all living things will. Does that mean we shouldn't get a dog? Does that mean we shouldn't love anybody? Because there's the possibility that they're going to be taken away from us. Well, the pain of separation is all too familiar, right? And so we may be afraid of really getting deeply connected with anything. I don't want to love my job because what if they fire me? What if I quit? What if I make a mistake and I'm gone? What if they go bankrupt or whatever? What if something happens and I get hurt because I was too open, because I allowed myself to love? Okay. And that might be what part of your anxiety is about. Processing the endings. It might even be a little bit of that concern that says if we upgrade things, if we take things to the next level, there's no going back to how it was before. Maybe how it was before just being friends, having a professional relationship, having that good, solid foundation of trust and things. Like, if we take the next step, if we like upgrade here, if it doesn't work out, there's no going back to how it was. That's kind of the risk that we take here, okay? The Three of Wands at the end, you're doing the right thing. That's the card of virtue. And to me, because we're having the 4 plus the 2 to make the 6, the 3 is obviously half of the 6, right? Tells me that this other thing that you're involved with, the job, the other person, feels like they are the perfect match for you. It feels like this is really where you are supposed to take your energy and move your life, into. Because this 3 is like, this is your identity. This is the core essence. This is your spiritual compass. And I think it's pointing at that person or that thing or whatever it is, okay? They might either be a Libra or a Capricorn. But I think that that your energy is pointing at that person, and it feels good, it feels right, but it's also a little scary. Yeah. Hit the like button if you need a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a push. I promise something amazing will happen if you hit that like button. This is becoming activated in you, and I think this is the willingness to recognize where your spirit is pushing you and to say, okay, we're taking the risk. Okay? You're identifying something that your soul is pointing toward. It's kind of like you feel a magnetism in this direction. You're looking and you're thinking, what's over there? And then you just see that person over there smiling back at you. And you say, oh, yeah. 3 and a 3 creating that 6. Yeah. The energetic interweaving. Let's look at the mystery card. I want lovers. I think that would be the icing on the cake here. That maybe would make it a little bit too obvious, a little too on the nose, a little too literal. We might have the Wheel of Fortune, the divine timing. Whatever we have, I feel like it'll be a useful card to help guide you forward in this situation. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what it is. A King of Wands. King of Wands. Fixed fire energy. First of all, it's a Leo energy, right? And that Leo energy is courageous, brave, right? Is able to identify the path ahead and accelerate. Push on the gas, It's a card that's saying it's time for action. It's time to act on this. It's time to claim this energy. Leave a comment, but claimed in the comments. So it requires courage. It requires that you use your spiritual compass to identify the course, and then hit the gas. Start going. Fixed fire. Yeah. And to me, is really indicating that you've chosen and you've committed to that choice, and you're moving forward with that choice. Yeah. And I think that you are, you're going to create something really, really magical and really, really beautiful in this direction. Okay. But you've got to go with the flow. You've got to surrender yourself to this, this momentum. Okay. You're moving in the direction of this energy now. And we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Taurus, Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.